The year was 1853. Newspaper reports from the front lines of the Crimean War made their way back to Britain, and the headlines detailed the horrors of the conditions in the hospitals in which soldiers were being treated. Soldiers were already being killed on the battlefield, and now those who had survived their wounds were dying from secondary causes like dysentery and gangrene. British Secretary of State Sir Sidney Herbert made a decision, one that would forever alter the course of medical history. He sent Florence Nightingale and 38 other nurses to the barrack hospital in Scutari, Turkey. Despite the terrible conditions and the overwhelming numbers of injured soldiers under her care, Florence Nightingale became a different type of hero, saving the lives of soldiers by greatly improving the hospital's efficiency and cleanliness and earning herself the nickname the Lady with the Lamp. In fact, Florence's efforts to improve the military hospital's conditions made such a difference that in 1855, she was awarded the Nightingale Fund, with which she would later open the first official nursing school in England. Florence Nightingale was a woman on a mission, and her mission was not one that she would abandon. Before she brought such acclamation to her profession, nursing was considered a job for those with a social standing no higher than prostitutes. But Florence refused to allow anyone to push her in a different direction. Upon arriving at the military hospital in Scutari, Nightingale and her nurses were faced with daunting tasks. Approximately 18,000 injured soldiers and dying men, wrapped in dirty and bloodied rags, crammed into appallingly small spaces. Floors were covered in inches of feces. Cholera and lice were rampant, and the only available sustenance consisted of watery soup. Florence was of the belief that more patients could be saved by caring for their most basic needs: rest, warmth, cleanliness, and proper nutrition. In the nearly 2 years that she was there, she lowered the mortality rate by 2%. She established a separate kitchen area, paid for with her own money, specifically to prepare more easily digestible food for patients. She developed a system for receiving patients, a system on which today's modern triage is based. But perhaps most importantly, she brought recognition to the field of nursing and set the foundation for medical care as we know it today. In 1860, Florence Nightingale's School of Nursing and Midwifery was opened as an extension of the new St. Thomas's Hospital. There, students studied for a year under a matron and her assistant before being sent to work in the field. Graduates of the school, called Nightingales, went on to spread the influence of their famous founder to all corners of the world, and as a result, nursing was established as a respectable and noble career for women everywhere. In conclusion, if not for Florence Nightingale's determination, hard work, and tireless efforts to revolutionize healthcare, the medical field would not be what it is today. Nightingale's beliefs that a patient's very well-being stems not only from the medical care that they are receiving, but their environments as well, are still taught to aspiring nurses today. And it all began with a woman who refused to be swayed in her convictions, who worked not for the acclamation she received, but for the patients under her care, who observed a need in her community and acted on her solution. Florence Nightingale is the inspiration for nurses everywhere, and her ideals and examples of what a nurse should be are just as true today as they were 150 years ago. A nurse is a woman of strength, compassion, knowledge, and practicality, always searching for the best ways to care for her patients. The Lady with the Lamp shared her wisdom with generations of nurses to come when she wrote, "So never lose an opportunity of urging a practical beginning, however small, for it is wonderful how often in such matters the mustard seed germinates and roots itself."